Let's be real, food is crazy expensive right now and cost of living is through the roof. Many online influencers encourage fancy supplements, organic everything, or grass-fed meats that cost a fortune. But here's the thing, since starting the rice diet, I've been feeding myself for as little as $2.50 daily, and that's under £2 a day. I'm not starving, I'm eating over 2,000 calories and I'm losing weight. And honestly, it's the cheapest way I've ever eaten. So let me actually break it down, because people always ask how much does it really cost to live off rice? But before I get into the exact numbers, let's not kid ourselves. Rice with ketchup or jam isn't winning me a spot on Hell's Kitchen anytime soon.
Where's the lamb sauce?
But that's the point. It's basic, it's filling and it's cheap. So here's a breakdown of exactly what it's costing me per day to eat this way. So 2 cups of rice, about 60 cents. A litre of orange juice, about $1.20. I'm eating the tiniest onion, you know, yay big, and a clove of garlic. I wouldn't imagine that cost any more than maybe 10 cents. And a couple tablespoons of ketchup or a couple tablespoons of jam, maybe another 10 cents each. And I know coffee prices vary enormously depending on the brand, but for me, making 2 cups of coffee at home each day is costing me around 40 cents. So the total for all this, $2.50, and it cost me under £2 here to live in the UK. That's cheaper than a Starbucks latte, and trust me, the rice actually keeps you fuller for much longer. And yeah, I'm also hitting over 2,000 calories daily. Now here's the thing, eating rice every day sounds great on paper. It's cheap, it's filling and simple, but by day 3 you're probably thinking, what have I signed myself up for? And I've been there. The trick is finding little ways to make it not completely miserable. And try to buy in bulk as well whenever you can. You know, them big bags of rice, that is way cheaper than grabbing them little packets each week. And I try to water down, I water down my orange juice, usually half and half, and it stretches the bottle and cuts the sugar. But honestly, it's way more refreshing, and it's more satiating as well. And with my flavour hacks, I didn't plan these, they sort of just happened naturally. A squeeze of ketchup here and a spoon of jam there. It costs pennies to make, but it makes the plain rice more tolerable. And I know it sounds grim, but honestly, a couple tablespoons of ketchup will turn your rice from prison food into, well, slightly better prison food. Now that's the day-to-day side of it, but since I just joined the gym like yesterday, I've been thinking about my protein intake, maybe bumping it up a little bit, because, you know, eating rice and jam might keep me alive, but it's not exactly recovery fuel, is it? So I'm sticking to plant-based, basically very budget-friendly vegan approach. So lentils are going to be my go-to for protein. Yeah, the truth is I haven't eaten lentils since like 2010 or something like that, at least 15 years ago. So I'll find out soon enough if the lentils and my stomach are going to be friends. The good news is, for me, lentils are lower in fibre than beans and peas, so which is perfect, because going from 0 fibre to 50 grams or whatever overnight is going to knock me out faster than any workout, really. When I swap them in, I'll dump all the extras as well, like the onion and garlic and the jam, and it's a steal as well. You know, just the other day I found a 2 kilo bag of lentils for just under £2 at my local store. That's like $2.70 or something like this. I'll do a little summary and put that up here or here. Basically, the whole point I'm getting at is adding the beans or lentils for protein is still simple, and it's a cheap plant-based way of eating. So for the price of a single takeaway, I can literally eat for an entire week on the rice diet, and that blows my mind. Rice is one of the cheapest, most versatile staples on the planet. It stores forever, it fills you up, and you can pair it with almost anything, you know, beef, chicken, veggies, beans, whatever. And sure, if you ever found a caveman drawing, you know, you're never going to see them proudly holding up a bowl of rice or anything. It's not ancestral, but it works. Even in a vegan diet, it works. And look, I'm living in the UK and I know I'm very lucky to have these modern first world problems, but everywhere you look, food prices are climbing like crazy. You pay more and you get less all the time. I mean, eggs used to be dirt cheap years ago for me, and now they almost feel like a luxury item when you're going shopping. A punnet of berries as well, like sometimes it costs more than meat. You know, I can't figure that one out. And let's be real, I wouldn't just eat 1 or 2 berries, I'd clean up the whole punnet in one sitting. Rice at least still gives you plenty for your money and it fills your stomach as well. It's simple and boring, but boring helps keeps the light on and keeps your belly full. Of course, eating this way gets very repetitive, and I know rice with ketchup or jam isn't winning any food awards, and nobody's going to list this as their favourite food. But it's predictable, it's cheap, and it helps keep me moving forward. Compared to carnivore, when I was eating pounds of beef every day, this is also one of the simplest, but most importantly, the most affordable diet I've ever tried. There's no expensive steaks, there's just a bag of rice with a few extras, and the benefits, you get the steady energy, there's less food noise and gradual weight loss. And mentally it's good. There's no wondering what's for dinner. The answer's almost set in stone. You know, the answer's always going to be rice. And sure, it doesn't always have to be rice. You know, it could be potatoes, pasta, buckwheat, whatever carb source you're into. But I'm following a rice diet and that's my current preferred choice. Does it get boring? You know, absolutely, of course it does. But it also saves me money and it keeps me focused and strips everything back to basics. It's very minimalistic. And some days I still crave a lot of different foods, lots of variety. And I don't expect that to disappear anytime soon. But after years of struggling with food addiction, even this feels like a huge win for myself. And who knows how long I'll stick with it. You know, that's all part of the experiment. If you want to follow along, hit like and subscribe and drop whatever's on your mind in the comments. See you in the next one.